Hello, champions! You're tuned into Hell Turn Inside, where WWE passion never stops. Subscribe now, and let's powerbomb through the latest updates. Wrestling has always been about more than just championships and athletic feats. It's storytelling in its purest form. Every match, promo, and segment carries emotion, tension, and personal drama that draws fans in. Some storylines stick with us not because of who won a belt or executed the perfect move, but because they tap into universal feelings: trust, loyalty, love, and even heartbreak. One of the most unforgettable narratives in WWE history revolves around a deeply personal, emotional moment that showcased vulnerability in the midst of spectacle. It's the kind of story that reminds us why wrestling resonates on such a human level. The King of Kings meets a moment of vulnerability. Imagine being Triple H, a man known to millions as the King of Kings, a performer who has achieved every conceivable milestone in professional wrestling. Championships, legendary matches, and a career that has defined an era. He has done it all. But there comes a moment when the arena lights, the crowds roar, and even the thrill of victory cannot shield you from something far more complicated: the intricacies of human relationships. Even someone as powerful and respected as Triple H is not immune to personal challenges that transcend the ring. A partnership built on trust and collaboration. What made this storyline so compelling was the depth of the relationship at its core. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were not just partners on screen. Their connection extended into the real-life dynamics that the WWE audience could sense and relate to. Stephanie, with her intelligence, charisma, and commanding presence, was the perfect complement to Triple H's calculated and confident persona. Together, they represented strength, unity, and ambition, both in their professional collaboration and in the way fans perceived them. The subtle signs of tension. No dramatic moment comes out of nowhere. In the lead-up to this storyline, there were subtle cues that something was shifting. Stephanie's character began to show signs of independent thought, moments of questioning decisions, and a sense of frustration that hinted at conflict. Whether intentional or subconscious, these nuances added layers to the story, building suspense and making the eventual outcome feel impactful and believable. Fans could sense that the dynamic between the two iconic personalities was evolving, and that anticipation created a natural emotional investment, a storyline that hits the heart. The pivotal moment came during one of Triple H's significant matches, where the stakes were both high and intensely personal. Throughout the contest, fans expected the usual support from Stephanie's character, her presence a source of reassurance and confidence. But, at the climax, the narrative took a surprising turn. Instead of acting predictably, Stephanie's character made a choice that shifted the balance of the storyline. Rather than simply supporting him, she stepped into a role that challenged expectations, creating tension and deepening the drama. What made this moment resonate so strongly was the human quality behind it. Triple H's reaction wasn't about aggression or revenge, it was about emotional vulnerability. He sat in the ring, visibly processing the unexpected turn of events, reflecting a sense of disbelief and emotional complexity that went beyond wrestling performance. This was storytelling that mirrored real-life emotions, moments of confusion, disappointment, and the struggle to understand someone's choices in the context of a relationship. Complexity in character development. One of the strengths of this storyline was how it allowed both characters to grow. Triple H, often portrayed as unshakable and commanding, became a more layered character, someone capable of introspection, doubt, and emotional depth. This evolution made him more relatable to fans, who could see that even the strongest figures face moments of uncertainty. Stephanie's character, on the other hand, demonstrated agency and independence. She was no longer defined solely by her relationship with another superstar. Her actions showed a willingness to make difficult decisions and navigate moral ambiguity, creating a character that was dynamic, nuanced, and compelling. The art of emotional storytelling, professional wrestling at its best, has the ability to translate raw human experiences into a form that is both entertaining and emotionally resonant. The storyline between Triple H and Stephanie exemplifies this beautifully. It was never just about winning or losing a match. It was about the emotional stakes, the human connections, and the tension that fans could empathize with. Audiences could project their own experiences of trust, disappointment, and reconciliation onto the narrative, making it memorable long after the match ended. Lessons in trust and understanding. Beyond the spectacle, this storyline offered viewers something deeper, a reflection on trust, communication, and the complexities of partnership relationships, whether professional or personal, require balance, patience, and empathy. The storyline highlighted what happens when expectations are challenged, and when each person must navigate the intersection of personal desires and shared goals. In doing so, it turned a wrestling storyline into a metaphor for human experience, showing that vulnerability is a universal and relatable emotion. Why this storyline stuck with fans. Part of what makes this narrative unforgettable is its authenticity. Whether entirely scripted or inspired by real-life dynamics, the emotions portrayed felt genuine. Triple H's character wasn't just reacting to a plot twist, he was displaying emotional honesty. Stephanie's choices were portrayed with thoughtfulness and consequence. Fans could feel the tension, the uncertainty, and the eventual resolution in a way that few storylines managed to achieve. The audience wasn't merely watching a match. They were witnessing a story unfold that mirrored the complexities of trust, decision-making, and the human heart. Growth and transformation. The aftermath of this storyline provided opportunities for both characters to evolve. Triple H's vulnerability added depth to his persona, allowing fans to see him as more than just a dominant performer. He became someone capable of reflection, learning, and navigating challenges beyond the physical aspect of wrestling. Stephanie, in turn, became a symbol of decisiveness and complexity, showing that leadership sometimes requires making difficult choices while remaining true to one's values. Together, their arc demonstrated that growth often comes through challenge and confrontation, both in the ring and in relationships. Wrestling as a mirror of life. Moments like this remind us why professional wrestling can resonate so deeply. Beneath the glitz, athleticism, and larger-than-life characters lies a powerful storytelling medium capable of exploring universal themes. Trust, loyalty, disappointment, and personal growth are all reflected in the narratives crafted in the ring. When executed thoughtfully, these storylines don't just entertain. They connect, inspire, and provoke reflection. Fans remember these arcs not for their theatrics alone, but for the human truths they convey. A lasting impression, the image of Triple H sitting in the ring, processing unexpected emotional challenges, remains one of the most memorable visuals in wrestling history. It illustrates the power of vulnerability and the impact of well-crafted storytelling. Audiences saw that even the most accomplished, confident figures can face moments that test their resilience, and that the greatest strength often lies in how one navigates those moments. It's a reminder that wrestling, like life, is full of twists, challenges, and emotional complexity. And that's what keeps fans invested. Week after week, reflection on the power of narrative. Ultimately, this storyline underscores the incredible power of professional wrestling as a medium for human storytelling. It's more than athleticism. It's about creating emotional resonance, developing characters, and exploring relationships in ways that are both entertaining and profoundly relatable. Through moments of vulnerability, tension, and emotional growth, fans are invited to reflect on their own experiences while enjoying the spectacle of performance. Conclusion: this storyline between Triple H and Stephanie McMahon is a testament to wrestling's ability to combine drama, emotion, and character development in ways that leave a lasting impression. It reminds us that even larger-than-life figures are not immune to the complexities of relationships and personal choice. The tension, vulnerability, and growth displayed throughout the arc elevated it beyond a simple match or feud. It became a story about trust, understanding, and the human experience. Moments like these are what make professional wrestling an enduring art form, capable of touching hearts and inspiring reflection long after the final bell rings.